Welcome to the Marriage Be Like podcast. We're your hosts, Kenny
and Kenya.
And we are so glad that you are joining us today. Listen, this podcast is here to discuss love and relationships, life topics, and how to navigate through it all.
Disclaimer, we are not specialists or counselors or professionals in these fields. We are a married couple who's got 27 years of life experiences under our belt. We hope to open some discussions, build communication, and plant some seeds. So sit back, enjoy, and let's have a conversation and grow together.
Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage Be Like
Welcome.
podcast. Yes. Listen, if you're joining us for the first time, we want to thank you for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to us on Thursday, this is on Envision
Radio.
-radio.com.
.com.
Yes. Now, we want to share a couple things here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to jump right into it because, like you said before, because we talked about this on the last episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
This episode is not just for married couples.
No, it's not.
Right?
Many of our episodes are not.
Right. So,
we just happen to be married.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
We just happen to be married. You make it sound like it was.
Right. I made it sound bad, didn't I?
Wow.
Okay, we're married. So we called it Marriage Be Like.
Okay. Right. All right. Well, yeah, you're right. So.
But, serious relationships.
Yeah.
Different kinds of relationships.
That's right.
So
That's right.
the thing about marriage is it still talks about life. We all live in life.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not just for married folks. We got that question a couple times. So we want to answer that question and say, look, let your single friends, can I say that?
That's fine. Anybody can listen who wants to listen.
That's right.
We're on the radio.
Yeah. And look, for our return listeners, we appreciate you tuning in every week.
Yes. Appreciate you.
A couple things just before we get into today's discussion. We do want to remind you that, you can listen to us on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Get it right. 4 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Central on envision-radio.com. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Envision Radio
family.
Team.
Yes.
And on Fridays, each Friday, release the newest episode on our website and wherever you get your podcast. Yes. Okay. So check us out there.
Tell your friends and family.
We are asking you to spread the word. Tell them that this is the best podcast ever.
Okay, as in plural, friends and family.
That's it.
Tell them all.
Everybody.
Yes.
So anyway, and then go to our website, marriagebelike.com.
Yes.
.com. Why do we do that?
I don't know. I can't even hit it.
So what are we talking about today, babe?
Ooh, today's title is Marriage Be Like Being Vulnerable.
Wait a minute. I ain't ready for this.
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. Okay, so if you listened last week, then you heard Debbie and Darren.
Yes.
And actually the last 2 weeks because they had 2 episodes with us. And we talked a little bit about being vulnerable.
We did.
Talked a little bit about crying and things. You can go back and listen. Wait, please go back and listen because those are some really good episodes, of course. But also, just to give you a quick synopsis, crying, especially for men.
Okay.
That was discussed, crying in front of our children.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Parents not showing tearful emotion.
Okay.
Those kinds of things. But today we're going to get a little bit deeper.
Okay. I gotta brace myself for this now.
We talked more about kids with them because those titles dealt more with children.
Yeah.
But today we're talking more on the relationship and vulnerability.
Right. Yeah. So the first episode with them was kids before marriage. Marriage, mm-hmm. Right. So that's why it was more geared towards the kids, the children, the offspring. Mm-hmm. So
and we just kind of accidentally started talking about vulnerability.
Yeah, we really did.
We really did. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Right on into this next topic.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So how deep are we finna go?
Well, we're gonna go a little bit. We're gonna go a little there because here's the thing: we've got an hour, so we can get on in there and talk a little bit. All right. Don't be scared.
Well, I ain't ready yet.
Yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's okay. Because here's the thing. We can talk about it.
We can.
Yeah. Life is different. Life is changing.
Yeah.
We're all grown-ups.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
The more you talk, the better you feel.
Okay. See, people, this is the reason why we have this conversation, because I don't know if you can sense my hesitation.
I mean, I'm not just like, woohoo about it, but I think it's something that we should discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be brave. Right, babe?
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, yeah, I guess,
You don't sound convinced.
Well, we'll see how we'll see how it gets.
It's not so bad. All right. So we're gonna go a little bit deeper. Being open.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Being open to what?
Discussing it. That's the least we could do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Let's
say today we talking about vulnerability, and vulnerability means basically in synopsis and quickly being open to possibly hurt, usually emotionally, but being honest about your feelings and etc.
Okay.
Okay. It's risky. For embarrassment and misunderstanding, others to misunderstand you or how you may be feeling or even your responses. But the plus thing is, you get to build trust, building your relationship, build connections.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. No, I tease, but yes. I do believe that that is a benefit of vulnerability, to be able to grow together and, like you say, building that trust.
Yeah.
So, anyway, trust. So you're talking about being open to possibly being hurt. So then I've got to, there's got to be some trust there if I'm going to lay my feelings out and trust.
Because we're in a relationship.
Well,
so now you already said yes to that.
Yeah, but sometimes.
So why not go ahead and go all in?
Sometimes folk wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
Hey, that don't mean you can't still try and trust. Mm-hmm. That don't mean you still can't be vulnerable and speak how you feel.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So, okay. So, and you hear this, what coming from me, right? I mean, I'm talking all this noise, right? But I am going to ask this question, right? Why is it so hard to be vulnerable or to express our feelings? Wow. You had to take a long time to think about that.
I did. Well, I think that and I'll just say for me, I do go back to, let's say, our meaning of vulnerable.
Okay.
Because it is the possibility of being hurt.
Yeah.
Not being understood.
Right.
Those kinds of things. So, for me, I didn't grow up in today's time. So I'm in my 50s. So, Gen X, we grew up many of us grew up in the old school fashion.
Right.
So really, you talking about your feelings was not a thing.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It was about, discipline and learning the world around you and especially being a Black kid. Not only that, but being a good Christian, being a good citizen, serving the public and pushing to be a great adult.
Right.
Those things came more so in the forefront than how I felt or even knowing to express how to feel or,
Well, I mean, and so.
How you feel, yeah.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, in today's society, I think there has been more of a focus on people being in touch with their feelings.
Absolutely.
Being able to
especially
express
in today's world, and more recently.
Yeah.
We've got people who are,
Yeah, I mean, so we are clearly, and I want to make sure
changing.
The world is changing. We're sensitive to.
Yes, even with comedians.
Right.
So let's use that as an example. Over the course of the last 10 years, some celebrities and comedians have been under fire for some of the things that they say.
Yes.
because people are sensitive to those things now.
Right.
Whereas before, when we were growing up, that was hard laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the world is changing around us. And for those of us who did not grow up learning and knowing how to express those emotions and feelings, I know for me, it's been difficult, actually.
Another part of that is at the time growing up, when we grew up, if you did express your feelings, it was viewed as a sign of weakness.
Absolutely. I mean, I was bullied for it. I was bullied for people assuming that I was weak, though I was never weak.
Right.
So it's a different.
Yeah. And I think today we have a different perspective on that. A different.
And not that kids aren't bullied for those reasons still, but
right.
I think people are just more aware.
Yeah.
And people are trying to make others more aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, I think what makes it difficult for me generally as a man, right? And I don't want to make this a man versus woman thing, right? But I will say that I'm supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be strong, right? I mean, I'm supposed to be able to handle and really kind of rationalize the circumstances that make me feel the way that I do.
Without showing emotion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think when you grow up like that and you come out of that era, you have a hard time
working through it.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And I don't think it's a purpose thing. It was an accident thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe just a product of the times, right?
Yes, I agree. I think it is a product of the times.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I mean, especially for like our parents before, because they grew up in segregation.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't cry because you couldn't drink that water at that water fountain.
Yeah.
And that but that doesn't mean you weren't hurt by it. It doesn't mean you didn't feel it. You just couldn't really show and express it because you didn't have time. You need to keep moving so you could go find that water. And you couldn't do those kinds of things in public per se because that just was not allowed in those times.
It's a very, very, very important point you're making there, right? I mean, I think generally speaking, when we cannot change a situation, right? We can't change the circumstances that we're facing. It doesn't matter how we feel.
Yeah.
We have to navigate through or survive. Right.
Very much survival skills.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I think then,
good point.
Not being able to express your feelings is not that it's not you're not able to, if I can talk, right?
Yeah.
Not that you're not able to, but it's more of I choose not to so that I can move on.
True. Or I choose not to right now and I can do it later when I'm at home.
Yeah, but later sometimes never comes.
I know that's right. Now when it comes to racial issues and those kinds of things, I would have to agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, well, I mean, so now we're talking about, this is a Marriage Be Like podcast.
Yes,
right?
It is.
But it's not just for married folk.
Right. Also true.
But why is it so difficult for us to be vulnerable in our relationships then?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna give you. Let me give you my.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to give you my thing.
Because I know, but I guess I'm a little shy on saying it.
Okay, that's fine.
You go first, babe.
Okay, I'll go first. I look at it like this. As a man in this relationship, right? And because so much weighs on me as the husband to kind of provide and things like that, right? I don't want you to think that I don't have everything under control.
It's not. Yeah. Okay. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't even want to do a rebuttal. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen because
let me express myself.
Go ahead and express yourself, baby. Yes. Go ahead.
I mean, no, I don't want, because I don't want to put any doubt in your mind that I can't do what you expect me to do.
Got it.
You see what I'm saying? And so, again, to go back to what I was saying about, expressing my feelings can be mistaken as a sign of weakness. It's the same thing, right?
That's true.
If I, you know, but I've
With a little touch of ego, little touch.
a little touch of ego.
Come on now,
No,
because
it's
that's not how I feel.
no.
I've never said that's how I feel.
No, it's you never said that. You're right, but well, hold
That's
on.
your
Now.
assumption.
Hold on, because if I've gotten into my feelings,
Did I say never?
If I've gotten into
I
my
actually have once. You're right. I saw your face. But that was okay. It was also early on.
Okay.
So we've already, if you've listened to the podcast before, you already know we had a rough time in the beginning.
Yes. So I don't know. I just don't want to give any kind of impression that, that I am not fit to meet the challenge that is being your husband, right?
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. And I get it.
And we're talking about just as a provider, but in any respect.
Yes.
I mean, I want to be that rock for you when you are feeling vulnerable.
Got it.
I want to be that stability for you. So when you feel like, hey, I need somebody to lean on, well, yeah, you can always lean on me.
Right.
But how can you feel like you can lean on me when I'm kind of wavering because I'm in my feelings? You know what I mean?
Oh, dang. I guess I ain't, And you know what? I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Okay.
But
there are times, especially as a married couple, we go through things together. We can't feel that together?
No,
and lean on each other?
Absolutely. In fact, some of the most impactful experiences in our marriage, from my perspective, we needed each other. And
we've both lost a sibling.
Right.
So, yeah, we needed each other for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that respect, yes. That doesn't mean still that I can't be that solid rock for you all the time when you need me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so that's where I am with that. And so, yeah, how can I be in my feelings or express, those kind of challenges or being overly, I don't want to say overly.
You don't say overly, yeah. Because what is overly vulnerable?
Right.
I mean, what is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, your vulnerability and how you express can go person to person, can it?
You talking about who you're vulnerable with?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a level of trust that needs to be built before you're ready to be vulnerable to that extent.
True.
I mean, I think there are two things that
we both still have siblings,
right?
And we can be vulnerable with them,
right? I think there are two things
not
that
like we would in a marriage,
right? Two things that really kind of lend themselves to your ability to be vulnerable. One is going to be the trust that you have in the person that you're vulnerable with. Yeah. The other is where you are in navigating through that part of who you are.
That part of who you are, exactly.
Yes. So, and that's why some people can go on national television or on the radio and talk about situations that they've been through because they have actually navigated significantly through a situation. So then, yeah, they can be vulnerable.
Yeah.
They can open up their heart and just pour it on out because of where they've gone with it.
Yes.
And they can pour it out to whoever, right? But then if there's something that they're still trying to find their way through
and work through, those things are not going to be as open about.
That level of trust, they have to have a higher level of trust in the person they're talking with. So,
I completely agree.
Yeah,
wholeheartedly, because I think that's how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as me in answering the question, I think I take it from an oldest child perspective.
Okay.
Putting my feelings aside because I was the oldest. Being able to navigate because I was the oldest, and just being able to work through those things or not work through them so that we could get through the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then back to a little bit later, and later may not ever come.
Right.
For me, I know I would just shove my feelings in the back. And then they just pop up, and I'm like, wait, what is that? What is that I'm feeling? Wait a minute, is that a feeling? And it was kind of foreign to me because I did not even know I shoved him to the back.
Yeah.
But actually, marriage counseling brought that up.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say that I can remember. I can remember that because, I had to adjust to the new Kenya.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're talking about the more recent counseling, but I mean, even the beginnings of when we first not first, but what's some of our earlier counseling sessions, just listening and realizing whether I even expressed it or not. I knew, you know what, I'm going to actually have to talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually have to say what I'm feeling. But what is it that I'm feeling again?
Right.
And so it was hard to express that if you don't know what it is you feel about it. Hard to express when you start to express, but it even sounds foreign to you.
Because you didn't realize that.
Because you didn't, exactly.
Yeah. I didn't know I felt this way.
And for me, I feel like it's a personality thing, maybe. I'm an introvert.
Okay, part of it. Yeah, I get that. I get it. So it's more of for me, what I understand it, part personality and part just a coping mechanism.
Yeah, probably so.
It's just, hey, you know what, let me move on because I still got stuff I got to handle. I got responsibilities.
Also true. Yeah.
So just being able to, pushing through.
Yeah. Growing up, I was generally quiet. I wasn't quiet with those who I knew well, but I was generally quiet. And, I was an observer. So what am I talking for and what am I expressing again? Because I'm just watching.
Yeah.
And I was totally okay with being in the background. Now I'm also okay with being in my friends and crowd, but I was totally okay in the corner.
Okay.
And, just watching. And so that, I think it held me back probably.
Okay.
Unknowingly.
Okay.
From expressing feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this. Oftentimes, as we go through life, and we are finding ways that we push things aside so that we can move forward. We begin to, if we were able to open up that box that we keep throwing stuff in, or lift up the rug that we've been sweeping things under, we would be surprised at how much is up underneath there.
Right.
And I mean, you talk about not realizing how I felt about stuff. Man, it's that because you pushed it away and you really didn't deal with it.
And that joker just show up when it darn well feel like it.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right, so you ready to go to a segment, babe?
Yeah, that got a little heavy for me. So
It's all right. We can work it through. We really, really can.
Yeah.
All right. So the segment this time is What I Love About You.
What I love about you.
Yes. Now, you going to tell them why we do segments, babe?
Sure. Wait a minute. Last time I had to tell you, so it's your turn.
What's wrong with this time?
No, it's your turn. Are we sharing the responsibility?
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't recall saying that.
You do this one, and I'll do the game. How about that?
It's the same thing for the game and the segment. You trying to be funny.
All right, listen, the reason why we do these segments and the games, right, is really to spark communication between each other.
Yes, it is.
Right, and have fun with it, right? This is not to, what?
Not to judge.
There you go.
It's to bond.
It's to bond.
There you go.
And what I love about this game, what I love about you.
Yes.
Right. We do this often, and what we are trying to do is find different ways to express to each other how we love each other.
Yeah.
And now we got to find something new. So there we go.
I hadn't said this one already.
Oh.
I don't think I have, but I'm just still hoping
That's all right. I will remember. Go ahead.
Good point. All right. So I'll go first.
Yes.
So you talking about go ahead. I saw you. All right. So I'll go first. What I love about you is how hard you work for our family.
Oh, wow.
Brownie points.
See, See, and you know what? Yeah,
You
brownie
almost
points.
walked yourself right into that one earlier in the conversation.
Brownie points for real, because you also tapped into my love language.
Yes.
So anyway, check out the 5 love languages episodes.
Yes. Episodes. That's correct. We
Yeah.
did too. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. That's all you're gonna say about it, though.
And we're supposed to get one, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh, wait, your love language was expecting more? Yes, sir. I saw the eagerness. But no, you guess what?
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. So my turn then.
Go ahead. Your turn.
Okay. Now this one's gonna be funny, right?
Oh, boy.
And
Should I be scared?
maybe no.
Oh, Lord.
Actually, and it's surprising. It's surprising that you said what you said, considering what I'm about to say.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm ready to close my eyes. Go ahead.
Oh, and I'm gonna say
listen with
this.
one
I'm gonna say this. What I love about you is also what gets on my nerve.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Ain't nobody said do that part.
All right, so
That's a whole other segment.
it's a whole other segment. What gets on my nerve?
What drives me crazy about you?
No, okay. So here's the thing, and you're really gonna laugh
Okay.
because what gets on my nerves about you
What's it called? What I love about you is a segment.
when you call me because I'm out working,
Yes.
right? And you ain't home yet.
That is correct.
Where you at? Right? No, I love that about you.
Did I keep you in line?
I love. See, you had to go and mess that up, right?
It's not messed up. You said you love it.
I also said it gets on my nerves. So,
You're right. I'm laughing. I'm laughing, folks, because I did it today.
oh yeah, I mean it's every day for that matter. And sometimes the tone is not nice.
This is also true. I was nice today, though.
Yeah, was it?
I was nice.
Yeah, it's either by text or by call.
Yesterday, I was not so nice.
No, yesterday you were not nice.
I would have to agree.
You were
But today, I was nice.
Yeah. So anyway,
He just has a lot of jobs, people. We were entrepreneurs, and so we do a lot of work. And
yeah. So, but I do appreciate it because I understand why.
yes, it's because I love you, babe.
Yeah.
Wait. What is your understanding of why? If I go answer it.
No, because you have told me why. Because I listen
Okay.
sometimes. So
All right. Mhm. Go ahead and say sometimes, because it was on my tongue. Yes, it was.
So, I mean, because I understand. I mean, if I am left to my own vices, right, be it work
Yes.
or whatever, I'll work myself
Yeah.
down to nothing.
Yeah, because you just be
I
in
just
it,
go.
adrenaline, and
I just go.
It's fun, and
Yeah,
it's your happy place. And then I'd be like, hey, you got another happy place.
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah. So, all right. What I love about you is what gets on my nerves about you.
I'm going to need you to stop saying. You know you love it. Only.
Yeah, no, I love it. I appreciate that.
Yes,
so
yes. And I do it because I appreciate you, babe.
yeah, see. That was amazing though. That really was. And people understand this.
And I try not to say it with an attitude. I really do.
Yeah, well, anyway.
I just be like, okay, now he been gone a long time.
But listen, y'all have to understand what just happened here, right? Because when we do these episodes, we have our notes and we know what we're going to talk about, but we don't know what we're going to say.
For our segments and games, that's true.
So that was beautiful right there.
All right, so did y'all like the segment? Hopefully so.
Hopefully so.
And hopefully you will do these with your partner, spouse, in your relationship to help build connection.
Yeah.
And get to know each other better.
Yeah. And you can find out what you like and what you don't like about each other.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to stop. I won't do that no more. Yeah.
Okay, so is it timid personality thing or a personality thing to wait to express feelings or a male or female thing?
Oh, you know what?
This is just your opinion, babe. What you think?
Just my opinion. Okay. So I think that generally it becomes a male versus female thing.
Okay.
But I believe that is misguided.
Okay. Explain.
Well, because there are expectations,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, generally speaking, we feel like men are they're either not in touch with their feelings.
Mm-hmm. So we macho.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, or really just have a hard time communicating,
Mm-hmm.
for one, and two, communicating how they feel. They really don't know how to put those words together.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
But women are kind of more emotional than men are.
Yeah, by nature.
Right. But I still feel like that's misguided.
Okay.
Because you're talking about stereotypical expectations on people that I don't think is fair.
Okay.
I don't think it's fair that we should do that because as a man, I probably could be emotional or in touch with my emotions and willing to be vulnerable. Now, I also want to be careful because we keep referring to vulnerability as emotions.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So, or feelings, but generally, I mean, because it leads to the feeling based on your definition from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but men could be in touch with their feelings.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes I think men who are in touch with their feelings are often
Creatives.
big creatives, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're mistaken for being
sensitive,
yeah, and which is still there again, unfair.
Yeah.
You
make very good points, babe.
I try. I try to be a man of wisdom.
There you go. Yeah, and I agree with you wholeheartedly again because I feel like and even when you mentioned a few moments ago, emotional, and I said, yeah, women naturally, but I actually don't really feel that way.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm emotional naturally.
No, you're not. You're not.
So I can't be the only one. I don't feel like that I am. And furthermore, sometimes sometimes it probably can be a hormonal thing that we're not.
Okay.
I think that women get judged by our hormones because of society, and I don't think that is fair because our hormones do so many things, against us and for us.
Yeah.
And they're so complicated. So then, and especially going into like a menopause situation and perimenopause, whereas before even the time period of that was one thing. Now it's completely different. Your body can do what it darn well feel like when it feels like it.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, it's probably perimenopause. It may not be. It could just be because you're 40.
And here is the beauty of the confusion of
and that's why it's just like it's very hard to judge or even put limitations on different things because everyone is different.
Right.
So there is no blanket of things. And even going back to menopause and perimenopause, there's no real concrete thing.
Right.
So there could be a list of 100 things and each woman's going to have a different piece of that list.
Yeah.
Or several different things of that 100 list.
So are we saying then that, because you asked the question, is it a timid personality thing or is it male or female? Are we leaning more towards behavior and...
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's less of... I don't
think it's a male-female thing.
It's not. I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I don't think so either. Learned behavior, behavior out of survival.
Yes, because it can be all of the above.
Yeah.
What about if it's answer D?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could be the combination of it all.
Yeah.
Or it could be none of the above. I don't know. But that's the thing about putting boxes around situations and people in general. It's too hard to do because no two are alike.
Right. That's right. So, yeah, I don't know that we can answer that question
I don't think so
effectively.
either, but that's the whole point of a discussion.
Yeah.
And then others may answer it. Or furthermore, what if it's different per couple?
Yeah. 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 I mean, because the reality is, I mean, we're still talking about the vulnerability,
right,
and being able to communicate with each other. But let's take in, because we talked about our experiences growing up,
yeah,
right? But now let's take in experiences with each other,
true,
right? Because unfortunately, as part of our growth in our marriage, and I'm just generally speaking here, there are times when we have disappointed each other.
yes,
Right? We have hurt each other, whether we have done it deliberately or unknowingly.
And vulnerability can come not only through like tears and sensitivity, but also through anger.
Yes.
That's the other piece too.
Yeah. Yeah. So then
it has many forms.
But I believe that all of those experiences, all those things that we experience together also lend themselves to our ability to be vulnerable with each other.
Yeah.
Going forward.
That's true.
I'm not going to talk, because when I talk about how I feel about being a rock for you, right? If I have sensed that you have lost the faith in me being that rock for you, then I'm not going to allow myself to give you any more fuel for that fire.
Oh, got it.
You see what I'm saying? So then I can't be vulnerable with you in certain things because I don't want you to feel like you can't depend on me when you need me.
And I feel like we should be each other's rock. Like, I don't feel like you have to just do that for me.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
But that I should do that for you. And we for each other. We as in the team.
So
and being able to do that isn't a gender role, in my opinion.
Correct. We can't take gender out of it because it is.
We can't. But but again, that makes it different for everybody because it could be a personality thing. It could be just how you relate to your partner.
Right.
In your marriage or in your relationship. It makes. And you don't know that until you're in it, really.
Right.
You don't know how that's going to be until you're in it and until you go through things.
So here's a question that's not in the notes. How do we fix that? How do we fix that?
Talking.
You know what I mean? Because
you got to actually be verbal about your feelings. That's the thing. How do I know if you don't say? And if you feel and a situation comes up and you feel, then you still got to say it because I will never know if you don't say.
Yeah.
I can't judge by, this is what he's doing or I'm a mind reader.
Right.
So it has to be verbalized.
Yeah. So the one of the bigger keys here to all of this is just really kind of open up that communication.
You got to open it up. You got to go ahead and put yourself out there. You don't have a choice if you're going to talk about vulnerability because no one knows what's going on in your head.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what? We mentioned something else. We may need a part 2 to this because here's the other part of that I believe is very important is trust.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think we may have to really kind of parse through that to kind of talk about how we can build trust as a on the back end of this one because I think that matters a lot.
Yeah. And when you said trust, and I meant to mention this earlier, even for me, even being vulnerable in an intimate situation, I was cool with the intimacy now. Let's not get it twisted, but I also wanted it in the dark. And it wasn't necessarily about my body per se as it was about me trusting. And it wasn't until you kept pushing and nagging me
Nagging?
It wasn't nagging. That's how I felt about it.
Okay.
Me. That's how I felt about it. I'm like, dang, every time he got to say that, I'm cool. But you weren't cool.
Right.
So it took a bit, but I had to actually be vulnerable to do it and just step on out there. Though we were married, it still was a situation for me.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a self-esteem thing. It wasn't because I didn't have no problems with, that portion of it. It was a real trust. And I just did not give trust 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about that one offline. That's not going to be over there. Because I want to learn a little more about that. Because I do remember that.
You remember?
I do. So I need to learn a little more. So sorry, folks, you won't get that one.
Trust you. You helped me trust you, but that was probably my first time where I felt like I had to be vulnerable with you.
Yeah, okay.
Because I didn't associate it with intimacy like that.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So that's why going back to the marriage counseling, when they talked about it, I was like, oh, I get it, because I had never connected those dots before.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to bring it full circle.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
There you go. Okay, so why can't people cry in front of others, or more specifically, in a relationship?
I don't know.
That's just, you don't know. Okay, all right then.
No, I mean, look, we talked about last week.
We did.
We talked about how we sat and watched a movie with the guys, and how I got up several times during the movie.
This is why I'm asking the question. I'm looking at you.
Why I can't? I don't even know. Maybe I'll be honest.
It was your family. It was just me, you, and the guys.
Yeah. So.
Our sons. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm afraid of what it may say about me, but I don't even know what that.
Say?
I don't know.
Don't understand.
I don't know what it says. So what am I afraid of, right? I don't know. It's something. It's something. Yeah. I don't know.
feel like the movie was a tearjerker.
Yeah.
I feel like it definitely hit some emotional points, particularly from a parent's perspective, raising sons.
Yes.
We're talking about the movie The Forge.
The Forge.
Yes. And yeah, I actually didn't know, though I read the reviews, somehow I still did not believe that it was going to be that touching or even that emotional.
Okay. Well, the reviews ain't going to tell you. Oh, well,
right,
maybe they will.
A lot of it did say, it was a tearjerker, and, people testified to that. And, you get your previews of what the movie's going to be about, but it's still, I don't know if I just didn't believe it or what. But I did know that I enjoy the Kendrick Brother movies. Mm-hmm. And I do know that they have such a great spiritual background. Can't get too much of that these days. Right. So I knew that it was a family-oriented movie. I didn't know how anyone would like it. I just said, hey, we've watched the other ones before. What was the other one? Courageous. Yeah. There were several others before. So we enjoyed all of them. This one just really hit home, I guess. Okay. To an extent. So I didn't necessarily cry or have tears fall, but I was quite emotional about it, watching her in the movie deal with her son and him coming into adulthood, into manhood. Mm-hmm. So
you know what? And it was a different perspective. Yeah. Because I didn't relate to her as much as you did.
Yes, because I raised sons. Right. And it was
You're the mother. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, I didn't think it would. I didn't think I would feel that way about it in the midst of the movie. Okay. But I was happy to feel that way because it was almost kind of like a validation kind of a thing, if that makes sense. Okay. I get it. Mm-hmm.
I get it. I mean, particularly when, you place yourself in her shoes.
Right.
And
because I felt like I was in her shoes. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. I agree there. So, but I don't understand why you didn't feel comfortable crying though. Now, for instance, I spoke about this at on the last podcast, how I cry every Sabbath. And just about. If I feel a sense of emotion, more specifically, the Holy Spirit in the sanctuary, you know what I mean? And music tends to do that to me. And then honestly, when I hear LaTanya Powers, it pretty much brings tears. Anyway, I just absolutely love her voice. So that's why I said, every Sabbath, I pretty much cry. But it's not necessarily every Sabbath, but I do feel that sense of openness to be vulnerable.
Okay.
Because I'm in church and I'm in the presence of God and my church family.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's comfort there. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there crying. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. I still need to cry on my own.
Okay. All right.
Hide my face.
You can cry on me, babe. You can still hide your face.
Nah, I ain't hiding
my
my
shoulders
face.
ain't big enough.
I ain't hiding my face. Oh no, that ain't happening.
Come on, babe.
Nope,
you can do it.
No,
I'm a safe space.
No.
Y'all hear this ego? Just ridiculousness. Just ridiculousness.
That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Anyway, moving on. Get off of this one. What's next?
Shame. Take us into the next question, babe.
Okay, so the next question is, when men are vulnerable, how would you like women to respond?
There you go.
I think for me, right? I'm going to talk about from my perspective.
But you're the only male here, so go ahead.
Wow, okay. Honestly, it depends on how I'm feeling. And there actually are times when I'm really, really feeling low.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, because there's no sign that I have that I wear to tell you how you're supposed to respond to when I'm coming to you with these things. So I'm not going to hold this to your charge, but I will say that there are times when I really want, I need consoling.
Yeah.
And again,
you said it like you're shocked. You're human,
right? But sometimes I feel like you're shocked by it because
I am every time, actually.
Because
it doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't happen very often.
I don't even know when I'm saying very often, but I'm not sure if it's happened.
No, it has. You just don't respond appropriately.
Okay, sorry. I guess I should just be straight up in shock. Like, what is happening right now? I don't know who this is.
No, there are.
No, I try to be open to it, but I just don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's fine. I get it. It's not my primary love language, right?
Right.
Being consoled. I just made up my own love language.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But that's but there are times when I'm feeling some kind of way, and I just want you to understand. I get it, and then there are times where I'm looking for an answer. Mm-hmm. You tend to give answers more than consoling.
That's true. I'm a fix-it gal.
Yeah,
I am.
And so sometimes I don't want.
You don't want that. You just want me to listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing though. Maybe I just need to come and say, hey, look, I just need you to listen to this.
I'm about to say, hold up a sign, sign language.
Something, I need an answer, because I can either say, hey, I don't need answers. I just need you to listen, or come in and say, hey, I need you to help me figure this out.
Yeah. Now you will do that more than you will do anything else.
Okay. Well, maybe when I don't do that, then you just need to say, oh.
When that might happen. Can you throw an orange in the room so I can say, okay, I need a signal?
No, I don't know. I don't know when that is, but there are times, yeah. And I walk away feeling like, okay, I didn't get what I needed out of that.
Yeah.
And
just come back. Or then say, hey, this is what I was hoping for.
Okay.
And then I'd be like, oh, babe, I'm sorry. Because that's probably more of what will happen.
Yeah.
Because I want to. I just don't know when.
But what's funny about that, okay, you don't do this, right? Mm-hmm. So generally speaking, women kind of expect men to know when they need one or the other when they come to speak.
Wait, say it again.
Generally speaking, women expect men to already know what they need.
Oh, got you.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. I don't do that.
No, you don't do that.
Because I'm trying to figure out what it is you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, but I have heard that. You're right. Mm-hmm. That's true.
So, you should know how I feel about this. Okay.
But there was a time that I did kind of feel that way. And it came out in counseling. Mm-hmm. But I felt like you should read my brain. Yeah. Remember those days? Yeah. And I wasn't as open and outspoken. Right. But yeah, it's just that was a confrontation thing. You know, I just didn't want to. I felt like if I spoke up about something, it was going to be a conflict.
Well, okay. So that was
some of it was me. Some of it was us.
A lot of it. A lot of it was me. Yeah.
All right. So now that we talked about being vulnerable and crying and so on and so forth. Right. And ain't none of us comfortable with it.
Or comfortable with seeing the other.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's just play a game. Let's lighten the mood. How about that?
Yeah,
okay?
Let's do that.
So who does it better? You ready?
Who does it better, right? Yep.
Okay.
Dun-dun.
Oh, dang. Can I take a breath, though?
No, because I knew you weren't ready.
I said, you just threw it all in there. You know what? I'm not going to fool with you. Dun-dun. I'm ready. Wow. Come on. Spontaneous romantic getaway. We're just going to push on through.
Okay. Wow.
Who does it better?
Spontaneous romantic getaway?
Yes.
That would have to be me.
Yeah, that would be it.
That would have, because you can't do nothing spontaneous. Nothing spontaneously, which drives me nuts.
You be all right. Opposites attract.
Man.
Okay. Buys the best value and best price. We just gonna sit here. I'm looking at you. You looking at
me. Listen, let me tell you something. But I realize that I hate shopping.
Yes. No.
I know.
Because we already talked about shopping. So let's be specific. Buying the best value and finding the best price.
Okay, so what is your answer?
It's not just general shopping.
So what is your answer then?
My answer is the both of us. We shop for different stuff.
That's not fair.
Well,
somebody has to win the game.
Not necessarily. We shop for different stuff. Now, we already talked about who buys the most and who spends the most money. That was clearly you. So you can win again for that. But I think that we both find the best value and best price.
I kind of feel like there was a whole bunch of shade just thrown.
There really wasn't. I was just trying to bring you back to what the question was.
Yeah.
Do you not look for the best value?
I mean, yeah, I try. Except for when it's grocery shopping, then...
I said we both shop for different things.
Yeah.
I'm not shopping for anything for the yard.
I hate grocery shopping.
And see, there you go. I'm not buying no tools.
Yeah. And I don't even buy clothes or stuff, you know?
Right. Well, see, that's on my end.
Yeah. So, all right, well.
All right. See? Okay. Brings on the spooning. Who does it better?
Brings on the spooning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that ain't me. I'm not even going to.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, like, what dude is going to be proud to say that I do that?
Yeah, that's me, as long as it goes to something else. That's what your response would be.
Yeah. No, this is, so there we go.
Yes, to actually spoon and just chill. Yeah, that's totally me.
Yeah, no, this is...
Plus, I'd be so warm.
Yeah. That's another one of those things I love about you. Yeah, because you have a way,
I'm always freezing.
Always cold.
Yes.
All right, so... All right, there you go. So, I won that game. So.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. So, look, we're going to continue to talk about vulnerability.
Yes.
In our next episode.
Yes.
We were touching on a few things.
Yeah.
So, we thought we
could knock this out.
Yeah. Somehow that did not work out.
It did not. So, we have a whole bunch more to talk about.
Yes.
And you know what? You know what's funny, Kenya? This is
what as bad you thought there was.
No, it wasn't. But it's very therapeutic.
Ah, look at there.
Yeah. Find out how crazy we both are.
I'll be crazy with you, babe. It's
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. All right. So let's just round it up really quickly. So love lessons for today.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to be vulnerable with the ones you love.
Don't be afraid. It sounds like a song.
Ooh, that do. But we're not going to sing it, okay? All right. What's the next one, babe?
Be a supporter of those who show their feelings or emotions.
That is correct. That's correct.
Ooh, you need to, let me read that one again.
We want to switch it out.
No, I need to read
I'll
that
read
one.
the second one. You read the first one.
No, I need to read this one again, just for your sake. Be a supporter
I'll read it with you.
of those who show their.
We can't read.
Okay.
I'm going to stop because apparently my tongue does not want to say it.
Okay. We can just read together now. Be a supporter of those who show their feelings or emotions. Yeah.
There you go. All right. So listen next week for part 2.
Yes, part 2 of being vulnerable.
That is correct. Also, we have an announcement we'd like to tell our audience, but we're not going to tell you yet. So we're going to ask you to email us a guess.
A guess.
What do you think our announcement is?
Okay. Wow. This is interesting. Okay.
Yes. Let's see if anybody emails. Let's just try it.
Let's try it.
All
Okay.
right.
So the email address is Kenya at marriagebelike.com. All right. That's Kenya and
A-N-D.
A-N-D and Kenya at marriagebelike.com.
Yes. All right. So for closing,
Yes.
thanks for listening.
Yes.
Join us next week as we dive more into our emotions.
Deeper.
And being vulnerable with our partners and spouses and relationships, okay?
Yes.
Join us every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Central Time on envision-radio.com.
Right.
And afterwards, you can join us on marriagebelike.com so that you can listen to this episode and other episodes. It airs on Friday.
Yes.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. So wherever you listen to it, that's where we'll be.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Let's give a quick shout out to our youngest son, Caleb, drummer boy. That's what I'm going to call him for today. For our theme music.
Yes. So that music that plays at the beginning and the end, you hear it right now.
Yes.
That is original music by Caleb, drummer boy.
Yes. There you go. Okay. See you next week.
All right now.
Bye-bye.